Hey, Jefferson here. I'm just going to be talking about this system I bought a couple weeks ago, and I installed it. It's the Fortress Security Store. Well, you can read it. Basically, my philosophy is that, if someone wants to break into your house, or I was looking for like basically the most cost-effective way to have a security system without having to pay monthly dues. So most security companies you go with, like ADT Security, they charge you a monthly fee. Um, it's a lot of money. They don't give you a lot. I went with I installed a security system on my mom's house because she wanted that linked. When you do it with what was it, home security alarm monitoring services, I think I didn't go with these guys. SafeMart. Yeah, it was SafeMart. So I set this up for my mom, but their system was kind of limited, and it was still $200. And part of it is because this monitoring device, um, that's what links to the central station. So the one that she signed up for $14.95 a month through this company, it's going through GSM, which is similar to what your cell phones are going with. So I decided to go with this one because I live in a fairly occupied residential area. So once the noise, once someone breaks in, um, they're going to hear the noise. See, I like that it has this outdoor alarm thing, and then it has this smaller alarm that you hook up to your central unit. And also, as a side benefit, which I figured out later, it has an auto dial. So I'm not going to go through the process of showing you where I place everything. Obviously, for security reasons, I don't want um, people to know exactly where everything's located. Though, so as you can see here, it has 10 units. I actually ended up going straight to their store. And actually, if you go straight to their store here, I'll just do it for you. It's a little bit weird. I kind of wish I knew about this, but it's cheaper to buy directly from their store, which makes sense because there's less overhead. It's like cheaper by $10. And I think it's free shipping. So I think it's free shipping, but I mean, it just depends what you want. Amazon is great in that if you're not too sure about these guys, Amazon has a great return policy. So, it's up to you, your call, which way you want to go. I'll put a link in the description for this one so I can, if you want to buy it or if this review has been helpful and you purchase it through Amazon, your purchase will get me, referral fees, which is helpful. Okay, so I guess I'll just describe here what these items are. So basically, these are the motion sensors. Let me go grab one. I think I have an extra. Yeah, I bought extra ones just because I have extra locations. Anyway, this is basically, I don't have any batteries, but the way it works is this is like a magnet or something, and then this is a magnet sensor. And when you put this magnet and you pull it away, you'll see a red light go on. And that's when it sends the signal to the central unit. So you want to put this on, like, doors and windows, and you can. They have how-to videos, but you can put them like at angles and stuff like that. Depending on how your doors are. I mean, you'll test them. Oh, and each of them comes with double-sided tape. So you just, That piece goes to this piece, and then the bigger piece goes to this piece. And they also come with batteries. I'm just putting this back in there. They actually shipped me an extra one when I ordered a bunch more, because anyway, so yeah, that's how the motion sensors work. The movement sensors, you put them like in your general living quarters that you walk around in, and you can set these. You have, on your remote, you have. I'm not sure if you can. On this remote, I'm not sure you can see. There's 4 sections. There's unlock, lock, home, and then panic. So the lock one basically arms your entire system, and then the unlock is, unlocks everything, and then the panic just sets off all the alarms immediately. The home one, you can designate through the system which items will be on and which items will be off. So, like, you could have you can have one of your motion sensors on when you're at home. So the home icon is something I would use for like when I go to bed. So when we go to bed, all the door sensors and window sensors will be armed, and then the one in my garage is armed. So because the garage is like on the other side of where I am. Yes. And then you can place this thing right here. This is a wireless device. It just needs to be plugged into a 110 volt source. So I just have it, I'm not going to say where exactly it is, but it's someplace that when it blares, it's super loud. And then this alarm right here doesn't require any power. You just plug it in straight in on the left side of your alarm panel. It looks like a headphone jack. And then this thing here is just the panic button, so you just press it. I'll show you what it looks like. There it is. I have this device. Oh, and also they're all numbered because they all have their own security assigned numbers that you can give them. So, yeah, and it comes with 3 fobs. So, the one that I got from SafeMart, that was it was like $200, and it had like 2 motion sensors and like a couple door and like 1 keychain for $200. But then again, it was GSM. So you could get the Fortress Security GSM system, and perhaps you can pay like $15 a month. Whoops, not through Fortress Security, but through SafeMart. I think it's $15 a month, and they can live monitor it for you. Just keep in mind when you do that, the city you're in might require permits. So the city of Fullerton, where my mom has it, it's like $40 a year to be registered with the Fullerton Police. Now, one of the things also you got to consider when you have, alarm systems, is that still there is some response time before the police get there. So, but usually it's like 15 minutes. Who knows how long it'll take. So, by then, usually the criminal, once they hear the alarm, they're bailing. They're not sticking around. They don't know whether it's actively monitored or not. I don't think that's really the concern. They just know that once the alarm is blaring, all the neighbors are looking. So if you have a lot of neighbors, I think an audio system is sufficient. If you're out in the boonies, yeah, maybe you want to have a police setup system. But yeah, an audio system I think is more than adequate in terms of acting as a deterrent. But that just depends on how much you want to pay. $15 per month, that's $180. I'd rather, why? I guess I don't consider it. I'm not concerned enough think audio is enough of a deterrent. At least in my area, I got a lot of neighbors that would be watching if anything happened. Also another cool thing about the system is that you can hook it up to a phone line. So most people don't have regular phone lines, but if you know how to set up voice over IP, you can hook it up to, or if you may already have a VoIP phone, you can hook it up to your VoIP line and connect it that way. I guess just so you know how I do it, I have a company called TeleX, which is my VoIP provider, and I set up a device PAP to and I don't necessarily recommend doing it this way because I think there are cheaper options, but I set it up for work anyway. So I use this thing. It's an analog adapter that you can attach to or program with TeleX. I think there are other options available, like here, but yeah, I think the audio's enough. When you hook it up to your phone, basically when the alarm goes off and everything's blaring loud, it'll start dialing through like 5 different numbers that you designate, and it'll give you you pre-record a message like saying da da da, this place the alarm is going off, and it's just your voice, so it'll play that when it calls. Now the weird thing about it is it starts playing the recording like when you start calling. So unless you make the message like long, or sometimes you only hear the end of the message by the time you answer. So I'm not sure how they programmed it, but it doesn't wait for you to pick up. It doesn't wait for the ringtone to stop. It just starts playing the message as it's trying to call you. So if you don't answer it right away, you may not hear the message. However, I mean, if you have it hooked up to your VoIP and you get a call from your own number, I don't know. Yeah, one of the other features that I haven't been able to test is you can actually call in if you have it connected to an analog line, and you can arm and disarm it from the phone line. So I've been having issues trying to get that to work with my VoIP provider, but that's a cool thing. So like if it's going off maybe a false alarm, you receive the call, you can call in and you can disarm it with your code without ever going to the property, just to help the headache for your neighbors. Yeah, 140 decibels is the alarm for the neighbors. I think that's pretty much it for the alarm system. This is a very good picture of the box that it came in. They all have double-sided tape. The power's all there. There you can see that headphone jack for that alarm system. So, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I've tested it. We've set it off on accident, and it's really loud. You can program it. You can add more easily to it. The whole thing is pretty good. I mean, especially with the keychains, that makes it super convenient. I mean, I highly recommend it for $200. I mean, I have another video where I have, insurance deductible about $7,000. So, I mean, it's almost better to just have a higher deductible, save on your premium, and use the premium savings to purchase an alarm system, and just install it yourself. It's all wireless. They're all battery based. They include all the batteries. It's really straightforward. I never had to call them for support. The only support maybe was changing my order from 1 motion sensor to 5 or something, or 4. I ended up getting an extra one. I'll probably talk to them about returning it. But yeah, it was free shipping, so everything has been pretty good. I have no complaints so far, and I mean, for $200, why not? I mean, just if you think about, but there are smaller systems too. So if maybe you don't have so many areas, you can just go for a $129.99 option if this is enough. I personally paid a little bit more because I wanted that that big ass speaker blaring out, just as an extra deterrent. Um, and they have different options here. They got a smoke alarm system too, but if you're in California, you actually need to have a smoke and carbon emitter, CO2 detector. I think it's law, so this may not be as good. They have glass sensors. I don't have any of those. I figure my motion sensors are placed in good enough locations. I don't necessarily need it. Yeah, I mean, who says you don't necessarily have to have the outdoor siren out loud. You can have it indoors too. Anyway, sorry, I'm not sure if you're hearing my kids in the background, but that's pretty much it for the review. And this is definitely highly recommended. I'm not sure of any more cost-effective methods. There actually was. I guess there's some other. There's another company that, or if you have less number of doors, you can have that. One more thing about the security system. So you can set up these door detectors or the window motion, those things you can designate to have a beep every time it opens and closes. So it'll do 3 beeps from this sensor. There was a Pi sector. So Pi sector is another one. From my understanding, it looks to be the exact same thing. Their support's is not as good. If you're looking to save, the most amount of money, I guess you could go that way. Now, I was about to buy this one actually, compared to the $200 one. Except if you look at them, I'm going to show you compared side by side. You'll notice that the Pi sector one does not include a alarm. Oh, this is the wrong one. There it is. Doesn't include a panic button. So, for the sun's in the light. It's your call. I think these are basically the exact same systems. Depends how tech savvy you think you are. If you think you're going to need the support, you might want to call these guys. If you can just figure out on your own and you're pretty handy with reading manuals and setting up VCRs and networks and stuff, or just reading directions, then probably just stick with. You could be fine with the Pi sector one and save yourself, $20 if that's really a concern. So I think that's pretty much it. I talked for about 20 minutes. So thanks for watching. Hey, Jefferson here. I'm just going to be talking about this system I bought a couple weeks ago, and I installed it. It's the Fortress Security Store. Well, you can read it. Basically, my philosophy is that, if someone wants to break into your house, or I was looking for basically the most cost-effective way to have a security system without having to pay monthly dues. So most security companies you go with, like ADT Security, they charge you a monthly fee. It's a lot of money. They don't give you a lot. I went with I installed a security system on my mom's house because she wanted that linked. When you do it with what was it, home security alarm monitoring services, I didn't go with these guys. SafeMart. Yeah, it was SafeMart. So I set this up for my mom, but their system was kind of limited, and it was still $200. And part of it is because this monitoring device, that's what links to the central station. So the one that she signed up for $14.95 a month through this company, it's going through GSM, which is similar to what your cell phones are going with. So I decided to go with this one because I live in a fairly occupied residential area. So